Morning everyone and welcome to the Maf Garage. This is a special live version. I'm just recording this straight off my camera because the episode that I have filmed for the past few weeks has been corrupted. So rather than having to waste time trying to recover the data and everything else, I thought I'd rather just film it all right now, let you guys know what's going on straight out. There's no editing, no filtering. So you at least know what is going on my side of the build in this battle against Scotty and the Trollvote. So let's get to the start of it. Why did the data corrupt? I wish I knew. I've tried to encode it for the past 2 days and it is just giving me video errors left, right and center, and I don't know why. And then when I'm searching why it's happening, they're saying file could be corrupted, blah, blah, blah. And it's not just one clip, it's about 15 or 16 clips. It's just completely ruined the episode. So, the next thing I've got to show you guys is the actual progress that I've been going through for the past 3-4 weeks. So, I'm going to keep you on this view, and I'm going to show you guys what's going on here. So, at the moment, I've been doing a lot of polishing and cleaning and descaling and derusting. So, first off, I've got my wheel hub. Now, I've left that alone for an extra week, so she's starting to get a couple of surface spots back on her, so I'll have to give her a hit and then a good bath in phosphoric acid. But I've also got this. And also a strut here that I've got. And I've just kept a couple little bits of black here because they've got Japanese writing and I'd like to try and copy it. And this bit I haven't really taken off completely because I'm going to take out the gas strut, and when I take that out I'll be finishing this bit off. But every other part, so I've got the chassis mount over here and the link to the lower control arm, and then my heat shield I've been working on, so it's back in the light. So you see on that side there, it was smashed in. So I've taken most of that back out and smoothed her out, and gonna sort of protect it in one way or another. I'm working out what to do, whether I'm gonna go with high temp or possibly zinc plate it, or the mind's boggling at the possibilities. Then with those parts over there with the suspension, we've also been working out what types of colours I'm going to be putting on it. So I've got a little test pattern here, and I've got 3 different blues there. I've got a hammer tone, I've got metal cast, and I've got the Duplicolour Forged Shockwave. So I've been trying to work out what different colours I'm going to put on all the different parts that make them all dressy and protect them and all that. So I've been running around doing those things. My sway bar has been picked up, paid for, hasn't been picked up per se. It's been made, it's been paid for, and it's sitting there at Fulcrum right now. The brakes have been made, they're sitting there at BHSS. I'm currently saving the money to finish off the payments. So I'd say about half of it's been paid for. Still got about 2 G's to go to pay that off. And I should be down there next week. I will be recording it, and hopefully, really hopefully, it doesn't corrupt. I mean, I don't know why this episode has, and hence the reason why I'm having to do this live. So those are those bits. Now, once I pick up the brakes and the sway bar and I bring it all back up here, and then get the final parts, which are the springs, the gas struts, and the lower control arms, the front end's complete. So then I focus on the engine and all the go fast bits. So first problem I had was my intake, and I've just got to find it. Hang on a second. It's over here. So I'm going to show you guys what's the problem. Sit down here. If you can notice there, that's a round pipe on a square hole. Yeah, pretty damn stupid. This was done all that time ago when we built the car, so lesson learnt, you always got to double check the work that other people do. So I'm going to hollow that out and make it the same diameter as the round pipe, and that'll give it a better flow. On the inside of the engine bay, I've got the other half of the intake, and I'm trying to work out a different routing for cold air intake, and also possibly modifying that half of the intake to get a bigger hole to allow more airflow into the airbox. I'm getting a K&N air filter to replace that. Unfortunately, there is a direct replacement for this airbox, so the positives are there. Now, during these past 3-4 weeks, maybe even 6 weeks, I'd say, my number one issue has been my ECU. And I've been searching all over the world. I've asked people domestically and internationally. Now, some companies just too cost prohibitive for me. Like I say, I'm on a limited budget, so I don't have a Brinks truck. And companies like Howtech, Motec, and AEM were just too cost prohibitive for me. Other companies like Microtech, I mean, they were really helpful, but it was just unfortunate that they didn't have transmission control. And that is one of the key things that I need with my ECU. I went to Grady and their eManage Ultimate and had a look at that. Unfortunately, there's not enough juice. And asking people around the world, and I have to apologise to some of you. I mean, Brant at PFI, I apologise wholeheartedly because, yeah, when you're on the other side of the planet and you're thinking all these things and all these things have gone downhill and you're just hoping for an answer and you don't hear anything, you're starting to get a bit frustrated. You're like, WTF, what's going on, you know? So I apologise to you, bro. I apologise to anyone else that's sort of been copying the short, blunt end of my stick and just like, oh God, you've just made me feel despondent in myself. You know, I'm not angry at anyone. I just feel like, gosh, I feel like I had no alternatives left. And I'm like, gosh, where can I turn to? And this ECU issue was going to be the make or break moment for me. Every other part that was there, from the injectors to the piping to even the turbos, they've all been sorted in different areas. But the ECU was the big problem because the harnesses that are on my Crustida are unique to two models, which are the JZA70 Supra, which is where the motor comes from, coincidentally, and the JZX81 Mark II Cresta Chaser, of which the Crustida is the sister car, so it had the same connectors. You think that I'd be able to find a connector for it and have it work? No. Everyone's going for the later model 1Js, even the non-VVTIs, that was the case of. Yeah, we do the 93 on till 96, which are non-VVTI, but no one did the older ones. So for quite a while, I was really despondent, really worried about what was going on. And Fortunately, there has been one company that's come to my rescue. I won't mention who they are now because I'd rather finalise all the details of what I'm getting from them before I let the cat out of the bag. So, going on with those bits, I've also got 800cc SARD type injectors that'll be arriving here soon. I've ordered them off eBay. Yeah, okay. But they're direct plug-in into the side feed fuel rail. So they're the same type, which are high impedance. And going up from 380 to 800 cc's is going to be a big jump in fuel, which will give the possibility of bigger power numbers. And on the turbo side, I was really umming and ahhing and tossing and turning about my choices. So I looked at possibilities like twin GT3582Rs. I thought, right, if Scotty's going 1, what's better than 1? Going 2. But when you start using those parts, if you don't go genuine, you're taking a big risk. So I could have gone for the eBay Alibaba GT3582s, but they could have blown up in a day, a week, a year, who knows. Could have been the first run. So rather than risk myself on that side, and if I flip it onto the other side, if I go to Golby's or GCG or any other stockist of Garrett turbos, genuine Garrett turbos that is, I am going to get absolutely hammered with prices and, once again, cost prohibitive, limited budget, blah, blah, blah. Can't do it. So I've been bouncing back and forth. I've found a place locally in Queensland that does work on the factory CT12As. So rather than copy the path that has been set by so many different other 1Js when they've gone big single, I thought, what better way to keep things as they were from 2006 to 2007 when I built it and bring it up to 2019 spec than to get them rebuilt and maximise the potential in those turbos. Now, I do keep in mind that I am limited by the size of them. So they are little bitty turbos. I mean, they're only 6 kilos each, so 2 of them is really smaller than a 3582R is on its own. So if I do that and rebuild it and high floater turbos, and possibly high floater manifold too, it'll give me the opportunity not so much to have as much power as Scotty. I mean, the overall number is going to be on the street machine side. It's not going to be on my side. However, I'm looking at something that's streetable, daily drivable, and doesn't matter where I am in the rev range, as soon as I touch that throttle, it just picks up and goes. And when I combine that with what I've already done, and I personally know what I've felt back in 2006, 2007, the potential to go forward and reach a level that I'm satisfied with, which will be comfortable to race at RockyNats and won't overpower the road or do anything stupid, I think this will be the better path for me to go. It's going to be cheaper overall. It's still going to provide me huge power gains. I mean, I'm looking at 215 stock from the motor. Even as it sat with the extra mods, it would have been about 200 at the wheels, 200 kilowatts, so about 270 horsepower. And what I'm aiming for is about 300 kilowatts at the wheels, so that's 400 horsepower. So that's an extra 40%, 50% almost. If I get that much power, I already know how quick the car was back then. It was a 12.7 to 12.9 car. If I had an extra 50% power on what it had back then, a low 12, high 11, possibly a mid 11 with good tyres, that could be very feasible. And for something that can pick up and go with that type of top end, I mean, it might choke itself a little bit from the size of the turbos, but I don't think it's going to be too dramatic with the high flowing that we're going to do. But that's pretty much the plans there. It's just going to be fixing up the piping for the hot side and cold side, because as I've shown you before, all the slag inside of it, we're going to smooth all that out. The airbox, 800cc injectors, and high flowing the stock CT12As. I'll probably upgrade the dump pipe and exhaust too, probably go to 3.5 or 4 inch. If I can get an expanded dump, go from 3 up to 4, it'd be perfect, or even 3 to 3.5 would be good. But even just to increase the exhaust from the dump all the way back through the cat and everything, it would give me more power overall, it'll help things overall, and it should give me a good target and a reasonable power gain to be able to attack Scotty and the boys. And, you know, if I lose, I lose. So be it. The main thing is I've spent my own money, I've tried, and I've made it there. See, at the end of the day, I don't care if I lose. The point is just to get my ass there to RockyNats. And it doesn't help when I have issues like this happen inside my house. So this is the final thing. I'm going to show you guys what has happened. And this was a big disaster for us. I mean, it's really taken up about a week and a half of our time just to work out what was going to happen to the house or what was going to happen to us. So I had my birthday over the past week, and I thought, yep, I'll go and have a spa and relax and chill out. And then we took the water out, and then we started having the roof leak, and then the roof collapsed. I can't even make this up, so that's why I'll show you guys straight out. It's like, what the hell? But those are the things that happen in life. You just got to get over them and deal with it and work out what solutions you can do with it. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the homeowner's problem. It's not my problem personally. I've got nothing to do with that. But everything else in this garage is my responsibility. So I've got to get back to work, get this done, save some more money. The next time you guys will see me, I should be on my way to Brisbane or prepping for Brisbane. I'll try and do a couple of stop-ins to a couple of people, and I've asked them previously and they've said, yeah, no, it's all cool, come around. So I'll just reconfirm with them that it's all good to come around, and I'll show you guys that. And on a recent note, tomorrow here locally in Gladstone, we have hot rods for the homeless down at the Gladstone Showgrounds. It's $10 for an adult, $5 for a child, $20 for the family pass, which is 2 adults and 2 kids. So by all means, if you're in the Gladstone, Rockhampton, even the Bundaberg area, come over, check out all the cars that are going on. I'm going to be going down there and filming all this stuff for the channel, and so you guys here can have a look at it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to go with at the moment. All I'm doing at the moment is sitting on my ass and saving money, really, and just working on the parts that you saw in front of you, just trying to make sure we're all prepped and nice and ready, so when everything's brought up and back together in one big pile, I can then just finish it off, put it on, start the car. Of course, all I have to really get is a battery then and a couple other little things, water pump, blah, blah, blah. But that's just even just to start it. If I want to do the extra parts and the extra upgrades, then we've got to take the turbos off, all the other bits, blah, blah, blah. Yada, 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 yada. Anyway, guys, I've been talking to you for about 20 minutes now, and I think I better just keep it chilled and cool and head off and get back to work. So thank you guys for watching. I apologize for not having a edited, clean, crisp video like I usually do, but sometimes you can't help what life throws at you. You know, sometimes you get a 7 deuce in the Texas Hold'em. You can still make a jack high straight with it. Anyway, guys, this is the Maf Garage. Peace.